What is up, YouTube gang? It's your boy FridayRandommedia, and I'm back on this Friday with another video. And today we're going to be diving into the Wolverine problem. Wolverine, Logan, James Howlett of the Marvel Universe. If you guys want to see more character critique videos like this, comment down below. Before we dive in, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Let's talk about it. So, the Wolverine problem. Wolverine is a character that's been almost every team, fought almost every villain. He's had his nose in everyone's business at some point. And because of this, we've seen a lot of conflicting information about Wolverine. How strong his powers are, how strong his adamantium bones are, how strong his adamantium claws are, how impressive is his durability really. I want to bring up a few examples based on people Wolverine has fought over the years. To start off in a quote-unquote lower tier, we have people like Spider-Man, Iron Fist, Shang-Chi, Captain America, Daredevil. These are supposed to be the lower tier people that he's fought. Wolverine has gone toe-to-toe with Spider-Man a few times and has gotten his fair share of ass beatings. But then again, in hand-to-hand combat, in a sparring match, Wolverine was able to catch Iron Fist lacking, which is actually pretty surprising considering he's supposed to be the GOAT of martial arts in the Marvel Universe. All the times that Wolverine and Nightcrawler have sparred together, they've trained together, Nightcrawler has not beaten Wolverine a single time. Think about that. Let's talk about the Fantastic Four, and this is ultimately the reason why I wanted to make this video. Let's talk about when Wolverine sliced up and cut up the Thing's rock armor and skin completely off of his body. The Thing, Ben Grimm, has been able to take shots from Galactus and Silver Surfer in the past, Doctor Doom, so Wolverine's claws being able to affect the Thing's armor, the Thing's rock skin up to that level is impressive, but it's also slightly concerning. I don't want to forget this old panel that I also recently saw. I believe it was Mr. Fantastic. Wolverine was going to take on the entire Fantastic Four, but Mr. Fantastic's elastic ability was actually able to bypass Wolverine's adamantium claws and ultimately prevent him from getting cut by the claws. That's crazy to me. But we have to remember also an old school panel. The Infinity War, the Infinity Saga, the Infinity Gauntlet. Wolverine trying to get his comeuppance on Thanos. Wolverine thought he was him. He thought he was going to take out Thanos. And as we saw in that panel, Wolverine's adamantium claws did actually penetrate Thanos. But they didn't injure him or come close to killing him. Now, fast forward, I want to say less than 5 years ago or so, there was a Thor and Wolverine comic where they actually had to team up. But, of course, you know these two, they're going to end up trading blows at first. Now, it shouldn't come as a shock that Thor absolutely fried Logan, but Logan got back up at some point. And let's talk about the main part. Wolverine was able to tag Thor. And most importantly, he was able to draw blood from the God of Thunder. Now, let's kick it back down to a little bit of the street tier level. Daredevil, Matt Murdock. No slouch in combat himself. No slouch in the physical department himself. Daredevil was able to actually knock Wolverine out. He was able to do some sort of nerve placement strikes, and this was able to incapacitate Logan. Now, I could be wrong, but I believe Captain America has actually done the same thing. And I think Shang-Chi has done the same thing with the nerve strikes. I can't recall if they just overwhelmed Logan with their hand-to-hand skills or if they specifically placed the nerve strikes, but then again, we know stories where Wolverine's been able to solo entire teams by himself, partially due to the Berserker Rage power and him being tricked, but there was a time where he was able to take on and eradicate the entirety of the X-Men. Of course, these fights, all these battles, all these stories have context to them, which if I want to keep this video a relatively short video, I don't really go into depth on them. But if you want to see a full video on most of these fights, any of these battles specifically that Wolverine's had, comment down below which one. I'll dive in. Finally, I want to shout out one of my favorite content creators here on YouTube, Jobbers and Goons. I don't remember the exact video, but I remember watching a video by Jobbers and Goons where he was kind of clowning on Wolverine. He was clowning on him, and there was a panel where Wolverine was in the woods and a deer out in nature absolutely rocked his shit, knocked his ass out. I believe it was Ultimate Wolverine. I can't be sure. So my question here for everybody listening. Where do you think Wolverine belongs in the Marvel Universe as far as his skill, his adamantium claws, his adamantium bones, his durability, his strength, his speed? Should characters like Shang-Chi and Iron Fist and Daredevil be able to take out Logan via their hand-to-hand combat skills and their senses and experience? Should characters like Spider-Man and Captain America be able to out-agile, out-maneuver, in some cases even out-muscle Wolverine? Is it really valid that Wolverine is able to tag the likes of Hulk and Thor, even being able to draw blood and potentially fatally wound these characters? I mean, we can't forget the time that Wolverine almost defeated Namor either. Well, in my opinion, when it comes to skill and his experience, it's near the level of Captain America, Shang-Chi, Iron Fist, Daredevil. However, since Wolverine can rely on his durability so much, and he has that one-shot potential with his claws, I think this makes sense why characters would be able to outskill him in most cases. When it comes to his strength and his speed, I believe it would make sense to have him on a level with Captain America and Daredevil, and potentially even Spider-Man. And that's because of his animalistic nature. When it comes to Wolverine's durability, and more specifically him being knocked out, we've seen cases where he's been incapacitated easily by lower tier characters, but we've also seen times where he's been able to take an absolute beating from Thor's lightning strike, or the Incredible Hulk, or Juggernaut. In my opinion here, Wolverine kind of has this Ghost Rider-like effect where he can take a beating, but he can also perform a really deadly attack and potentially one-shot most of his foes. So do I think he should be getting knocked out or incapacitated by the likes of Daredevil, Captain America? Well, not exactly. With his healing factor, Wolverine's brain functions should be able to recover, and he should be able to recoup his functions quickly enough not to be knocked out by these types of characters. But when you're talking about Spider-Man, or at least a serious, unsuppressed, emotionally amplified Spider-Man, this is where you start to see Wolverine maybe getting knocked out. When you're leaning into that Hulk, Juggernaut, Thor range of characters, I see Wolverine getting roughed up really bad hand-to-hand, enough to actually knock him out, or, just put him out of the fight completely. As far as Wolverine's claws go, and his one-shot potential, him cutting off the Thing's armor, the Thing's rock skin, makes sense in my opinion. However, it has to stay consistent. People like Mr. Fantastic should not be able to find a way to get around Herald tier claws that can rip through Sentinels. They can rip through the likes of the skin of the Hulk, who can rip through the skin of the Asgardian God of Thunder, the Mad Titan Thanos. Now, I do believe that Wolverine should not be able to hang with these higher tier characters all the time, or even most of the time. Wolverine should not be having regular fights with Thor or the Hulk. In my opinion, even the Thing. So, in my opinion, Wolverine should fall somewhere between Captain America and Spider-Man in general, when we're talking about these characters on the ground trading fisticuffs with no crazy emotional buffs or amplifications. However, the same way we see Spider-Man let loose when he's unsuppressed, when he has some kind of emotional buff or emotional amp, you could call it, Wolverine should also be able to tap into this, as he has the Berserker Rage. It is one of those things that help propel him into a few tiers higher in the Marvel Universe that allow him to have such insane, crazy feats. When Wolverine really gets to let loose. I think this is something Wolverine really suffers from as far as the live action Fox universe, because we haven't really seen Wolverine do that much crazy stuff on par with this comic's counterpart. We've seen him resist Jean Grey's reality warping abilities for reality erasing abilities that function on a universal level, but in general, I think we've usually seen a more weakened Wolverine on the movie screen than we have seen in comics as far as hand-to-hand skill and the full extent of his claws' attack potency, and I really hope this is something that changes in Deadpool 3. Now, before I wrap this up, I want to let you guys know two things. First, next Friday, I'm going to be releasing episode 3 of season 3 of my Versus Battle series. If you guys want to check out the other seasons or other episodes, check out the playlist section on my YouTube channel here. Also, I have my own comic book anthology coming out at the end of this year, December 2023. Going to be debuting my flagship character, Godman the Lifebringer, who has a video link in the description below. He's like a Superman Silver Surfer type character. And also Xorg of the Komodo village of Planet Green, who also has a video link in the description below. Xorg is like a sci-fi monk type character. So if you're interested in that, check me out on TikTok by the same name, FridayRandommedia. As always, remember to hit the like and subscribe button. Comment down below what y'all want to see next. I want to say thank you for stopping by and tuning in, and as always, peace out.